How to know if you're ready for a girlfriend? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. So keep in mind, guys, I'm no expert. I'm 25 years old. However, I do understand that you can't go out and find love. You can go out and find sex, but love is a different thing. Love comes to you. God sends you that when He understands that you're ready. My short answer is you never really know because only God knows that. However, we can do a little bit of estimation and prediction when I think objectively you are ready for a girlfriend. Again, I'm 25. I could literally meet the love of my life tomorrow. So you really never know. You might be still emotionally immature and you might mess up that relationship because you're not developed, you're not truly a man yet, and you don't know really what to do and how to handle that, and you've never been in love before. I feel like I'm 80% there. I'm 80% ready for a girlfriend at 25 years old. But even so, there are other exceptions. Like, you can both meet when you're inexperienced and you're immature, but you guys grow together and mature, and that's like a very ideal relationship. You guys got similar values, you're on the same wavelength, you understand you guys' journeys, and you bring each other closer to God, you bring each other closer to your purpose, and you just are in such amazing synergy that you progress together. That's an amazing connection. That's a relationship that you should not mess up, you should hold on to for the rest of your life. Now, how to know when you're ready? Okay, so a lot of it has to do with emotional maturity, guys. If you're still like viewing women as sex objects, you got to get rid of that. If you're still like watching porn and jerking off and a victim to lust, then you got to get rid of all of that. If your masculine energy is there, if you know how to talk, if you know how to tell stories, if your communication is good, you're a trustworthy man, like you're not out here running the streets still. Even if you didn't get that phase out of your life, you understand that you don't want that kind of life because you want to emulate what your parents had, assuming they have a good marriage and they're traditional themselves. I do feel for the guys out here living in a single parent household. It must be rough, and I personally can't relate with that because I didn't grow up that way, but I feel for you guys. Something I learned is a lot that has to do with the survival of a long-term serious relationship is emotional maturity. So if either side of the party has a bunch of traumas and problems that they haven't healed from, like maybe past relationships, family issues, that's going to mess up the equilibrium, the balance of the relationship, okay? Because the other person might be healed and this person is doing a lot of toxic things to sabotage their relationship and they might not even know. So it's not technically their fault because their innate intentions aren't malignant ones, but they're still unintentionally ruining the relationship. So if you're not emotionally mature yet to understand and like talk to her about it, if you really love her, you would talk to her, bring her to therapy, give her advice, get her on self-improvement, that relationship's going to end. Because you as a man, that's your job. You're the leader. You're supposed to acknowledge the problems of the relationship and help. But also the woman too, because the woman might be healed and you're the one with problems. You're still sleeping around, blah, blah, blah. And you might lie to her and say, oh, you're changing or whatever, but you end up cheating on her. The point is, emotional maturity is probably the biggest factor if you're ready for a relationship, if you're ready for a girlfriend. That's probably the biggest one. And then number two would be like finances. But I feel like if you become rich and then focus on women, you don't have experience prior to dealing with women, you're gonna get finessed. You're gonna get finessed a lot by women that are just using you to, get these free trips to Bali and to Greece and to go traveling and stuff, and they're gonna just use you for your money. So you gotta decipher between the good women and the women that just want to use you, okay? Because when a woman uses a man for their money, that's exactly how crappy women feel when men use them for their bodies, just for sex. And another point that you should realize, if you're still on your purpose, if you're really busy and a lot of your businesses and whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life requires a lot of your time and energy, relationships will also require a lot of time and energy. So the only time I would tell you to get in a relationship, if you're this sort of man who's very purpose-driven and ambitious, that woman has to understand your journey, has to be on the same wavelength. You have to see potential in her long-term, similar values and all that. Because if she's got all these issues, unhealed problems, and she like vapes and smokes and goes out a lot, and she's not a very purpose-aligned, Christian-aligned woman, she's going to deter you from your path and bring you down, and you're going to be very disappointed, not at her, but if you're smart, you'll be disappointed at yourself for not acknowledging those early red flags and doing something about it before being invested in a relationship that you have no future in and you wasted all this time. But hey, at least you'll gain experience if you're smart and telling yourself, I'll never make that same mistake again. So if you are very time constrained and you're purpose driven, and most of these women aren't going to be good for you anyways. So That's kind of how I am right now. Like, I'm not settling for just if she's pretty. No, like, what are the other things? Like, does she go to the gym? Is she Christian? Is she on self-improvement? Is she doing things to improve her life? Or is she like some like degenerate girl who's like going out with her friends, drinking, trying to get attention, posting inappropriate social media posts, vapes, smokes, isn't Christian? And then, you know, it's pretty obvious. See, men and women, we identify early red flags when we meet somebody right from the back. But we choose to ignore them for two reasons. We're either lonely and we want to cope with the loneliness and the void. And this is more common in men because men naturally don't get, especially if you're a young man with nothing and you're broke and you live with your parents, you're not going to be getting many girls. So the first girl that gives you attention and she say she's pretty, you're going to latch onto that girl and you're going to stick with her. Even if you don't see potential and you know she's not good for you, you're still going to want to date her. And I'd highly advise against that because in the end, honestly, you're going to do whatever you feel like doing at the end, and I think you should anyway, so you can learn something and not make the same mistakes, blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you right now, if you do proceed with that relationship, it's going to end. She probably is going to cheat on you. She's probably going to either, something bad's going to happen. She's going to cheat on you or she's going to ruin you and destroy you from your purpose. It says in Proverbs 31 that many kings have been ruined by women, and this is still relevant today. Guys, this is a big struggle with men, not only young men, but also like middle-aged men who struggle with lust. I know I struggled with that for a while. It's still an ongoing battle. It's never really going to end as long as I have testicles intact producing testosterone in my body. But you really have to just be spiritually in tune. That's the word. You got to be spiritually intuitive and trust your gut. If you meet a girl and she's beautiful, but you have a gut feeling that this isn't going to work out, she's not good for me, she requires too much time, blah, 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 then don't even proceed. Don't even text her. Don't even do anything. Don't even walk up to her, okay? You want to stay away from her. Like, you will know. Chances are you will know deep down in your spirit, your gut instinct, your intuition is your spirit communicating to you. That's God communicating to you. So, you know. Sometimes we really just know if this girl's right for us or not. And you really just have to trust your spirit, trust God. And for me, that's God speaking to you through your intuition, your gut feeling. So if you feel like it's a healthy, holy relationship, proceed. If your gut is telling you that it's not going to end up well, please trust your gut instinct. That's the biggest message I would give to you guys. Just trust your gut, trust your instinct, trust God. Don't even worry about a relationship, honestly, if you're young and you're working on yourself, because by the time you reach your prime, a lot of girls are going to be flocking towards you anyways. Now you have the advantage. You can choose with all your experience and your gut instinct, which are the girls that will align with me and become an asset to my life and build me up, and it'll be a great relationship, versus the woman who won't. This is all emotional maturity, being spiritually in tune, and somewhat experienced, understanding female nature. So that's why I think it's very important that men kind of go through this phase of going out with a lot of girls, going on dates. Notice I didn't say anything about promiscuity and sleeping with women. Just getting rid of your social anxiety and understanding female nature. That would probably benefit a lot of you guys. So if you want to watch a video that I kind of touch on that topic, the title is To Anybody Who's Still a Virgin. So I come up with some really good insight on that. So I'll see you guys in this video.